The third recording that offers the most interesting results.
It is our opinion that those recordings don't resemble any recordings of or vocalizations from animals that you might find in that area.
Could these be actual recordings of a Bigfoot in the wild? Fox says there is no way to know for certain without seeing the creature.
Okay, I had to make this video because I had to get people to understand what I heard as a child when I was growing up in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. I heard that. And I was only a toddler, and we lived in a small, tiny house on a hill surrounded by taller mountains with thick forest vegetation. And I was only a toddler, and we had an outhouse because we didn't have indoor plumbing at the time. So I went out early evening, late June-ish, and I heard this ripping, roaring, screaming, bellowing sound just ripping through the landscape. And more than that, it was more than just that you could hear it, it was that you could feel the sound vibrations of the bellowing roar. It was unlike anything I've ever heard, and I know what every animal in the world sounds like. I've studied I've researched all the sounds, and it doesn't match anything, except experts say that is definitely ape. And what the hell is an ape screaming sound like that so unbelievably loud doing in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains? And my stepfather, who was from Tacoma, Washington, or Sappho, Washington, went running out of the house strapped with 3 rifles to one shoulder, 2 rifles to another shoulder, several pistols strapped to the belt, canteens, his hunting jacket, and he comes running out, excited, shaking. I'm gonna get me a squatch. He didn't come back for 3 days, and he said he tracked the thing for miles, and then he lost the trail. He grew up in Washington, in the Pacific Northwest, where a lot of people see these things and hear these things, and I don't care what anyone says. I know what I heard, and it was so loud that everything in the forest just shut the fuck up. Everything got pitch dead silent when that roar went ripping through the landscape, and you could tell that it was miles and miles and miles away. And that's what I think scared me so much, was that it wasn't nearby. It was so loud that you could hear it miles and miles away.
On January 23rd in Delia County,
and I pissed myself. I mean, when I went back inside the house, there were knickknacks and glass things all over the floor. Apparently, the sound was so loud that it rattled the windows and shook the walls, because the sound vibrations, you could feel the sound vibrations passing through your chest as though it were you were at a concert, and you know how at the concert you can feel the thump of the drums vibrating through your chest. You could actually feel it pumping through your chest. Well, I could feel this ripping, roaring scream pumping through my chest. They're called reverberations. And it's terrifying. It was absolute terrifying. I am still traumatized by that. Matter of fact, I just turned the TV on, and this popped on. I was just happened to be on the History Channel last night, and I turned the TV on today, and that's the first thing I heard, and I freaked out, and I started crying, and I started remembering that incident, and I just kind of freaked out, and I froze. And somebody apparently got a recording of this thing, and no one ever believed me whenever I told anyone about this incident. No one ever believed me. Well, somebody actually got a recording, and that's what I heard. It was this, but it was so loud it sounded like a 747 jet passing overhead. It was that loud. You had to cover your ears. And you can tell that this thing wasn't nearby. This thing was miles away, and you could still hear it that loud. And everything in nature, all the birds, all the crickets, all the cicadas, everything just shut up. It got deathly quiet, and I literally pissed myself. And I'll never forget this incident ever in my life. I will never forget it.